morning, everybody. We are Team Nemmadi. We've been conducting home inspection, RWA Hoto Audit, and many other services all over India for the past 8 years. Today, we're going to be discussing a lot of the frequently asked questions or FAQs that people have asked us. We will also be explaining in depth what home inspection is. Before that, we'll all introduce ourselves. My name is Uday. I am the CEO and co-founder of Nemmadi. Over to Mr. Suresh.
Good morning. I'm Suresh. I'm the COO of Nemmadi. I've got about 44 years of experience.
Good morning, all. I'm Divya. I'm with Nemmadi since 8 years, designated as an assistant general manager. I have about 18 years of experience. Over to Swati.
I'm Swati. I'm project engineer. I have been working at Nemmadi last 5 years.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dipali. I'm working as an assistant general manager. I have got over about 20 years of experience in the construction industry.
Let us first understand what is home inspection and why it is important for homeowners in India. Mr. Suresh?
Whenever somebody buys a new apartment or a villa, so the issue is when they start living there, they should not face any issues or the defects which makes their living difficult. So for that, what we do is home inspection, where we check for all the defects that can cause problems when they have been staying there. And for the home buyer, it could be that he may not have knowledge to check all this, or even if he has knowledge to check, he may not have time to check. So that's where we come in.
Divya, Swati, and Dipali, what are the various aspects that are checked during home inspection?
Here we cover civil aspect.
Then we also cover the plumbing aspect.
And electrical aspect.
Can you go a little more in detail as to what each of this is?
Under civil aspect, we cover flooring, walls, doors, windows, ceiling, etc. We go in depth and we check each and every aspect of the house. For example, in flooring itself, we check flooring tile, is it laid properly, any undulation in the flooring, hollowness, we'll check the hollowness, and also whatever the grouting is done throughout the flat, is it the same shade or it's a different shade, like that. We go in depth and we check each and every aspect of the house in detail.
You talked about civil. Can you talk a bit about electrical? What is checked in electrical?
Okay, in electrical, we check with we use different kinds of instruments like fault detector and everything. So when we check, when we say it is an electrical check, so we check for the sockets, whether we use the fault detector. As I mentioned, we put the fault detector into the sockets and check whether the power supply is there, first thing. Then if there is any neutral or earthing faulty, or it is connected in the neutral line, so there may be shock hazard in future if it is not attended at the initial stage of the inspection. So these are the checks which we do in electrical.
Could you tell us about the plumbing checks that are done?
In plumbing, we check all CP and sanitary fixtures functionality, and is there any leakages or any damages on plumbing fixtures. And also we check above fall ceiling. Is there any leakages observed above fall ceiling? And in the flooring, we check slope, water is flowing properly or not. Is there any water stagnations on floor? To check that, we are using straight edge, and also we are pour the water and we will check the water stagnation.
Apart from this, what is it that a builder gives the homeowner? Something like a specification. And also, also measure the area. So, can you explain a little bit about area measurement, and then we will go to look at specifications and dampness?
See, these days the flats or villas are sold on the basis of the area, that is the square foot. Earlier there used to be so many confusing terms being used, called as plinth area, livable area, carpet area, super built up area. So to put an end to all these confusing terms, the government has brought in regulation called as RERA, that's Real Estate Regulatory Authority, who have defined carpet area in a particular manner. And we are specialized in that. And this is the area on which a builder has to charge the home buyer. So, for example, in Bangalore, a carpet area of say about one square foot costs an average in a high level apartment about 10,000 rupees. So if there is a shortage of even 10 square foot of carpet area, the difference will be nearly 1 lakh rupee. That's where it comes in. We measure carpet area as per the RERA guidelines, and we do it in a very thorough fashion. It's a quite a cumbersome exercise. We give the owner the value that he has to consider before making a purchase decision.
Divya, can you explain how the area is measured in carpet area? What is the process our engineers follow so that our viewers can understand the depth that we go to measure the carpet area, and also explain what is livable area? First carpet area and then livable area.
In carpet area, first we measure internal room dimensions. Internal room dimension means, for example, it's a kitchen. We measure length and breadth of the kitchen, and we measure length and breadth of each and every room, and we'll record it. After that, we measure internal wall footprints. Then we calculate and we'll give report to them.
How does one measure the internal wall footprint, and why does one need to measure the internal wall footprint?
As per RERA, internal room dimensions and internal wall footprints are to be considered as a part of the carpet area. That's the reason we have to measure both, and we use laser measure to measure the area.
Can you explain what is the difference between the carpet area and livable area?
The carpet area, as Divya mentioned, includes all the room dimensions with the internal walls as the definition given by the RERA Act. The livable area gives only the room dimensions. We don't include any wall thickness or anything like that. We just measure the room dimensions, and we give a comparative statement saying that this was the, for example, take kitchen, it was 8 feet by 10 feet as per the drawing what they have shared in the floor plan. So we measured about 7.5 feet and 9 feet. So we just give the comparison of length and breadth into the area. That comes into a livable area.
Swati, what is the price change that a customer has to pay if they were to take a service with carpet area or without carpet area?
Without carpet area, it's included in package. If they need as per RERA carpet area measurement, that will be add-on service.
How much does somebody charge? How much does Nemmadi charge if it is an add-on service for carpet area?
We are charging 2,000 rupees additional.
2000 square feet area flat.
So if it is more than 2000 square foot area, then they will charge more.
Yes, and also to add on to Dipali's point, here the difference between the carpet area and livable area. In carpet area, client whatever we measure and we give, they can directly compare with their agreement, and they will understand what is the difference. But in livable area, it's only internal room dimensions, and they will get only the length and breadth of the internal room dimensions.
Okay. Swati, we were talking about specifications. Can you explain a bit more about specifications?
In specification, the data we collect from client that mentioned in the sale agreement, based on that we will check that which type of door they are providing, and electrical points means TV and telephone points. In the specification they mention that in 2 of bedrooms they will provide. As per that they are provided or not, we will check and we will provide you the detailed report.
As Swati mentioned, it is a comparison given with what builder has promised to the client, saying that these are the things which we are going to provide it to you. So as a team Nemmadi, we are going to do the checking whether it is provided or not. As she mentioned, there are a few points like they give a internet connection, they give a telephone points, even the tiling, they say they would give vitrified floors, or maybe some marble flooring. They would have changed to some other flooring. So all these things which the builder has promised to the client is checked in the specifications.
So it is basically a comparison of what was promised by the builder and what you have got.
Correct.
Yes. Mr. Suresh, has there been any instance where after we've had a area measurement that has been done, there has been a call from the customer saying that the builder is not in agreement with what we have done, and how has Team Nemmadi been able to help the customer and solve the uncomfortable situation?
Yeah, normally there will be no contest for our measurements because people would have seen what we are measuring, and we use very accurate laser measures for measuring the lengths or the breadths, whatever. And a detailed tabular column is given, which is quite easy to understand, self-explanatory. However, there are instances where the builder does make a contest. So that time we have been having a joint measurement. So we have gone there and we've done a measurement in presence of the builder's representative, where he also takes a reading and we also take a reading, and then tabular column is populated, and then comparison is done. And it's very, very rare that it differs, and most of the time what we have done stands good.
In your experience, how has the outcome of these joint measurements been, and what was the reaction of the builder one, and what was the reaction of the homeowner two?
See, the builder usually, because of any difference, he is answerable. Definitely, there will be a lot of checking and rechecking, and they did concede to the actual measurement what has been done. However, in some of the agreements of the builder, there could be some tolerance that is mentioned in the agreement, plus or minus 2%, plus or minus 3%, something like that. If both have signed that agreement, they are bound by the agreement, and if it is within that tolerance, of course, the buyer has to agree. And in case where there is a difference, the second point is with the homeowner as such. Homeowner, they feel like they are getting what they have been promised, and that point is ratified or rather consolidated by our finding.
Ms. Divya, when you've spoken to so many customers, and then also to Ms. Swati, you've spoken to so many customers, what are the basic questions or basic doubts or clarifications that a home buyer or a home owner has in terms of carpet area or RERA area or livable area? You can answer any of these.
In terms of carpet area, they want to know whatever is promised as a what is the total carpet area given in the agreement, and they want to understand, is it there at the site? Actually, is it there at the site? They want to understand that. That is their first question. They will ask us, is it possible for us to give us a correct measurement so that they can compare with their document?
What about you for livable area?
In livable area, they ask how to compare what is the use of livable area. So on that time, they can compare with the drawing, room dimension, what they are provided as per drawing, as per that they are getting or not. And also that livable area measurement, they can use for interior works.
I would like to add on. Carpet area, as Divya mentioned, yes, it gives an accurate measurement to compare with what the builder has promised, that this is the carpet area we are going to give for this flat, and what the actual measurement is at site. So that is the exact value you get when you do the comparison. But when you compare it to a livable area, you won't get that, what is the promised area which is being given to the client. So it is always better for a client to go for a carpet area instead of going for a livable area.
We always know that when a homeowner or a home buyer takes a home inspection, they save for the future, meaning that because the project or the property is still in the ambit of the builder, if any problem is identified before the home buyer moves in, then it is the responsibility of the builder to make all these repairs. So we know that they will save a lot of money because all the repairs need to be done by the builder. They also save a lot of time because they don't have to take a holiday, they don't have to take time off to be able to get these repairs. And most importantly, they also save a lot of headaches, because we as Team Nemmadi find all these problems and identify it for them. This is home inspection that we are doing. Now, can we give people examples of various problems that one has identified? Let us start with one particular aspect. For example, we start with civil, then move to electrical, then plumbing, etc. So, one of you, please tell me some of the problems or most common problems that one finds in an apartment during home inspection.
Hollowness. Flooring hollowness is a frequent. We
When you say flooring hollowness, is it tiled flooring or is it wooden flooring or is it some other type of flooring?
tile flooring and also for dado, both. And for flooring hollowness is a major issue, and we find this issue frequently in almost all the projects and in all the flats. This is a major concern with the homeowners also. Whenever we get into call with the homeowners with respect to home inspection, they will also ask for this question first.
The tiles which are laid on the floor, that is on the slab, that is called as floor tiles, and the tiles which are laid on the wall, that is in terms in the toilets, so that is called as dado tiles. So we check hollowness for both floor tiles as well as wall tiles, that is dado tiles. So any sound that is, it is not pleasant to the ears, that kind of a sound which we hear, we note down it as a hollow tiles, and then we give it as a snag, that is a defect which is in the hollowness, that is the hollowness snag. So irrespective whether it is on the floor or on the wall, that is the dado, we note it down, because the dado tiles, whichever there is a hollowness, in due course of time there is a chances of the tiles falling out from its position or the place.
Due to debonding.
Yeah, debonding of the what is the material from the tile and the wall. We use a cement slurry or material, bonding to do the dado tiles. So when the dado tiles is debonded from the wall, so there is a chances of the tile to fall off. So this is the reason where we captured that there is a hollowness in the dado.
Why is the hollowness on a floor captured? Dipali explained why we capture hollowness on a dado, because there is a chance that it can fall off. What about on the ground?
On ground, it's equally problematic, because the hollowness gives that drummy sound, and more than the sound, the tiles, many times we see them pop out from bottom, and they start rattling when you walk on them. And in particular, when there is a load in one of the corner, when you step in a corner where there is a hollowness, the tiles break. Many times we have seen that breaking, especially if a point load, something like a dining table leg or a leg of a cot which is resting on a tile which is hollow, the tiles will break. So that is a serious issue with the hollowness in the flooring tiles.
What are the tools that are used to identify hollowness?
To identify hollowness, we are using soft mallet.
How does one check using a soft mallet?
We will tap on each tile, and on that
What happens when somebody taps on a tile using a mallet?
we will get sound.
What does the sound indicate?
That indicates hollow.
See, when you say mallet is nothing but a hammer-like instrument, but whereas the tips have got plastic, it doesn't have metal, it's got plastic, so that it doesn't break the thing on which it is tapped. So when you tap on a tile, you find a hollow sound or a drummy sound. That indicates the tile has not been properly stuck with a rather bonded. To the floor, using either mortar or many times even a resin is also used. So any change in sound indicates there is no proper bonding. The tile may itself come off, or the tile may break, or even it will start rattling, sitting in the same place.
Can you also tell us about what are the others? So we talked about hollow tiles. What are the other things that come about frequently when we are doing civil workmanship quality audit?
As we started off with the discussion, there was a question, what are the aspects we check? Civil, electrical and plumbing. In civil, as Divya mentioned, we check about the false ceiling also. So whenever we go into the toilets, we open a panel of the false ceiling and we just check. Sometimes there are cases when we open the panel, because we always suggest the client to have a 24 one day before the water supply to be there, so that we check the pipes are all full with water, so any leakages or dampness in that flat can be identified easily. So when we open the panel, so sometimes, because of the leakage or puncture in the plumbing lines, there is a tendency of the leakage of water from the above false ceiling. So many of our engineers who have gone for an inspection have come across this problem, wherein, luckily it is an water supply, no charged, I mean, nobody is living there and no other sewage is used, so it is best that only the inlet pure water is falling on to their splashing on them. So if at all if this occurs once the person has occupied the flat, so it is going to cost a lot more of money to rectify the entire lines.
This is the plumbing lines. Is there anything else that we find in civil? We can come to plumbing, but talk about civil first and then we'll come.
To add to Ms. Dipali's point, we'll also get dampness issues on walls and ceilings. So we use, at Nemmadi, we use thermal camera and moisture meter to check all the walls and ceilings for dampness issue.
Why do we use both a thermal camera and a moisture meter?
Thermal camera works on infrared rays and it gives us the difference in the room temperature. For example, if the room temperature is 23 degree Celsius, then if there is some moisture in the wall, then there will be a less temperature and it will show in a different color. To confirm is it moisture in the concrete, we use moisture meter. It will give us the percentage of water content in the concrete. So with the help of both the results, we conclude is it dampness is there or not. That's why we use both the tools to confirm dampness parts.
What are the other civil problems that we find? We check for doors, we check for windows. So what are the other instances of problems that one has come across while doing home inspection?
In doors, they will do the door shutter, they will done the polishing, painting and polishing for top of door shutter. For bottom of door shutter, they will not. Main or in all the apartments, that polishing and painting issues for bottom of the door shutter we are finding.
To add on to Swati's point for the door shutter, sometimes the door are fixed in such a way that it is not easy to operate. The floor, there is a fouling of door shutter with the floor. So you cannot just move, because if you move the the shutter, so there are scratches observed on the tiles. So this is a common issue which we find while checking the door shutter.
One more thing regarding this flooring, what we also check is about the lippage. So what we mean by lippage is the adjacent tiles should be of the same level, and if there is a difference in tile, we call it as a lippage. So what happens if there is a lippage? We allow a lippage of up to say about 0.6, maximum 1 mm. More than 1 mm, if there is a difference in adjacent tiles, when you walk barefoot, there is a chance that the corner of the tile will hit your foot and it will injure you. So, and also it looks ugly. So, and even sweeping, it becomes an obstruction. So that is one thing we check. And regarding doors, the locks, most of the time we find that the locks don't function smoothly. Even the door handles, they don't move smoothly. And one more thing, what I observed is this door hinges, but they are fixed. They don't move freely, and also many a times they would not have fixed all the screws in the hinges. Many of the times. So either out of 6, only some 5 are fixed or 4 are fixed. And even if all are fixed, most of them would have got rusted also. These are the things what we check, because in due course of time, this is going to create an issue. The freeness in operation of doors, the windows, the sliding windows especially, the gaskets, we check all those. To give an idea, we check about 1,400 plus points in a normal 2 BHK apartment of nearly 2,000 SFT. That is the depth in which we check. I think you can also cover some more points. What
We also check for cracks on walls and ceiling. So there are three types of cracks. One is hairline crack, medium crack, and wider crack. We check all the walls and all the ceiling with the help of the torch, and will give a detailed explanation about the cracks. If it is a hairline crack, how it occurs and what needs to be done. If it is a medium crack, what needs to be done, and if it is a wider crack, what is the it will be considered as a high priority, and will update to the client that that has to be rectified, and it may cause a issue in the future.
To add on to her point, to understand what is a hair crack, medium crack, and a wide crack, we have come to a notation saying that if the crack width, you consider the crack as hair, medium, and wide based on the width of that crack, which is on the walls or the ceiling, whatever. So, if the width of the crack is less than 1 mm, then we mention it as a hairline crack. If it is between 1 mm and 2 mm, then we go for it a medium crack. Crack. Then if it is more than 2 mm, then it is called as a wider crack.
How does an engineer who's working with Nemmadi measure these, whether it's less than 1 mm, greater than 1 mm, etc.? What tools do they use to measure this? How does an engineer with Nemmadi identify the various sizes and types of cracks? What tools do they use?
We follow Singapore standards. Our engineer will stand 0.5 meters away from the wall, and they will check for the crack. Then we use feeler gauge to identify is it hairline, medium, or wider crack.
no, you mean to say that if the engineer has to check the crack, he will not go very close to the wall.
Yes.
He will stand 1.5 meters away.
Yes.
That's about nearly 5 feet away. And if it is visible from that distance, it is taken as a snag. So if it is not visible, it is not taken as a snag. Not that they go very near to the wall and then check. What is observable from 5 feet distance, it is taken as a snag.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
We have helped over 10,000 individual customers doing home inspection. Let us talk about some of the data points that we have gathered. What is the average number of snags that one finds while doing a home inspection in a 2,000 square foot apartment?
We have collected the data from our inspection so far. So when you average it out to a normal apartment of 2000 SFT, it comes to nearly 168 snags per apartment. So that's an average figure.
You talked about number of problems. What is the amount of dampness, or what is the percentage of apartments that have dampness in them?
Around 62% of flats will find dampness issues.
How many of these apartments or villas that have been measured have a variation in area?
33% variations.
So you're saying that 33% of all apartments or villas that have been measured show a variation in area. 33% of them have a variation in area.
Yes.
Okay. What is it that gives Nemmadi the confidence over others to perform home inspection? And why is it that Nemmadi stands out over others in this field?
See, the first advantage what Nemmadi has got is the lineage. We are an offshoot of a construction project management consultancy company which is in existence for more than 38 years. And we are all from that company, and the knowledge that has been gathered over there flows down over here. And we are the only home inspection company. We are from a construction background. So we know how the buildings are constructed, and we know where things can go wrong. So that is the perspective with which we check whether the things have been done right or not. So that's the major edge over all our competitors what we have.
What about scientific tools? How has Nemmadi leveraged use of technology to make our inspection stand out better than the others in the field?
We use scientific tools like thermal camera, moisture meter, laser measure, straight edge to perform the audit. For example, for dampness, we use thermal camera and the moisture meter to conclude the results. Like that, we use scientific tools to perform the audit. And also, we have our own proprietary app. In that, we capture each and every point. We won't miss even single points during our inspection, and the report will be given to the individual homeowners with the statistics.
Dipali, because Nemmadi has got its own proprietary app, how does that make sure that the customer gets what they were promised and pay for what they get?
Okay, as Suresh sir mentioned, we have got an extensive checklist of questions as we come from an construction industry background. So we have got about, as sir said, 1,400 to 1,500 checklist questions, which are put it into the app. The questions are put in the app, and the rooms, each room is assigned with questions, so that our engineer doesn't miss any of the questions in any of the rooms, and not even one single point is missed while doing the inspection with whatever the things has been assigned.
So, are you saying that for every unit that is assigned to an engineer, our app generates a curated checklist specific to that particular apartment unit? Can you explain that a bit more, Mr. Suresh?
Yeah, what happens when we are given a job? So first of all, our engineers collect the project details. That's the floor plan of a particular villa or an apartment. As per that floor plan, the checklist is assigned. So which is specific to that particular flat, and the number of checkpoints go more if there are more number of rooms, and there are different aspects also depending on what. Some aspects are applicable to kitchen, some aspects are applicable to toilets, some aspects are applicable to bedroom. In that way, a proper inspection plan is done with a curated checklist, so the engineer who goes for inspection will get all the questions, and he has to perform without missing any points, because there are no option for him to miss any questions. So that ensures that he covers all the points.
Divya, can you explain to the audience the process that is done behind the scenes so that our engineers, when they go, get a complete picture of what needs to be done and what is the data that is collected and how this process is done? And then after that, you're done, we'll come to the review mechanism.
Once inspection is confirmed, then we'll collect all the floor plan, specification, and client information, as well as the home inspection details from the client, like specifications, if any modification is done, flat number, like that. And also we'll get permission from the client to get it to the flat to perform the audit. And once we collect all the information, and we share all these details with the engineer, and also we share the scope of work of the inspection to the engineer, because we are having diamond package as well as platinum package, and we tell them the package which client has opted, and based on that they will carry the tools, and also they will perform the audit. And once engineer is at site, they will go and they will talk to the owner, and they will explain all the process what they are going to perform at flat, and then they will start the audit. Once they start the audit, they will use all the tools, and they will take snags. We take a photographs in our app, and then finally at the end of the inspection they walk through the flat to the client to give more detail on the major snags. Once it is done, all the data will be uploaded to the backend, and then it will be given to the review team for the review process.
Can you explain the review process?
Yes, once the inspection is done, the results are automatically generated, because it is app provides us that facility. So all the pictures are seen visible in the app immediately once they upload the results. So once the results are uploaded, I can just start going through the photographs with whatever the snags they have captured. Anything which I feel, or no, there's something wrong here or something. So I discuss with the person who has inspected that flat and arrive at a common thing, what was the exact thing which has happened there. So any descriptions which is need to be changed or anything to be added on, or sometimes it can, it is not considered as a snag or something, they would have captured everything. The every detail is captured into the app in the form of a photograph. So we just go through all that photos, and anything added on, we add it, and then finish the process, and the report can be shared to the client.
Here, I would like to appreciate that the review process, what is done is, what people don't understand is, we go through each and every snag that is captured by a review process. Not a single photograph escapes review process, so that the accuracy of the snag, the accuracy of the description, and even the veracity, everything is validated, then only it goes to the next stage. So there will always be two levels, and also in case of some totally unique snags, even the whole team discusses, and even the third level, fourth level, everything you will discuss, and it serves two purposes. One is the client gets the accurate description of the snag, and the second is the team gets updated, so that when you are doing the next inspection, we all know there is a particular snag that is to be captured that way.
And also in the report, we will mention priority of the snag.
How does the priority of the snag get assigned?
In the app itself, it's assigned priority, and then while doing reviewer, they will change the priority of each and every snag.
This is based on experience.
It's based on the experience.
Okay. We will now talk about a service that we offer after the home inspection, which is re-inspection, or as in jargon we call it as de-snagging. Would you mind explaining what it is and how it is beneficial to the customer?
On first inspection, we will call it as snag inspection. We will submit detailed report submitted to the client. They will submit the detailed report to the builder. Builder will rectify each and every snag, and they will inform client that all the issues are rectified. Then client will call Nemmadi, that builder has rectified all the issues. Please come and verify all the issues are attended or not attended. Then we will go and we will check the each and every snag that rectified or not rectified. That inspection we will call it as de-snag inspection.
So essentially, we are doing this re-inspection to verify that the home buyer has got his apartment with all the problems that were identified in round one has been rectified and brought to a proper state. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Now we would like to talk about the report, the technical report that we send our customers. Could you please take us through the various aspects of the report and how this stands apart from the others in the market?
Yes, sir. As mentioned, the report is comprehensive. We give the report in aspects wise, as civil, plumbing, and electrical, and also the room wise. Civil has got bedroom 1, bedroom 2, or toilets, some like the same way. Electrical, plumbing, and civil, each aspect and room wise, the reports are given, and the reports also contain priority, that is the severity of the snags. So the person can identify whether it is a high priority snag, low priority snag, or a medium priority snag. And also the report contains the timestamp of that particular, the day of inspection.
What about the priority or the urgency or the
Severe.
red, yeah, the severity of the particular snag? How is that identified?
That depends on the experience as well as the severity of the snag which is captured. Uh,
How
High
does
priority,
how does a customer understand that it is high priority or medium priority?
we have given the color codes for all the three priorities. Low priority goes with the green color code, medium priority goes with an orange, and then high priority goes with the red color code.
Do we also have a section where we talk about the general problems that occur within the apartment?
Yes, we have got an unit called as general observation, wherein we just notice what are the other things other than the regular snag rectifications or snags which we cover. Any other thing pertaining to that particular apartment, we cover it in general observations.
Thank you. Now, we also offer a couple of different service offerings. We have what is called a diamond and we have a platinum package. Could you explain to our audience why we designed the diamond package and why is it that it is the best package for anybody?
So diamond package is a best package for everybody. All the quality minded people, they will go for the diamond package, and most of the clients, they will go with the diamond package. Hence we have designed diamond package. In the diamond package we cover civil, electrical, plumbing aspects, and we also check dampness spot identification. We perform carpet area as per RERA. And in the diamond package there will be two levels of review. One will be done by the senior having more than 20 years of experience, and the second level will be done by the senior having more than 40 years of experience in construction industry. And then we also measure doors and windows dimensions, and we also perform any modification checks and specification comparison statement, as well as a in-depth general observation. And here it's also DSNAG is also part of the premium package, and we also visit after 6 months to understand, because of the seasonal changes there may be some cracks and dampness may happen after 6 months. So we also visit after 6 months to understand any leakage, dampness, and any issues, and we check flat or villa again, and also we visit after 12 months to understand any dampness and any crack related issues, and we give a detailed report. And here the customer will be given the high priority. Like, we also perform audit on Sunday for the customer who opt for the diamond package, and we also provide reports on second working day. In general the reports will dispatch on third working day. For diamond package we are dispatching report on second working day. These are the major benefits what client will get it under diamond package. And
What about a video? Do we also have an offering where we share a video recording or a 3D walkthrough for a diamond package customer?
yes, we also provide video walkthrough of the flat, as well as we also take them, we also do the walkthrough of the report to the client under diamond package.
And as you mentioned, the diamond package customers skip the line and are always put ahead and priority in terms of not only time frame but also in terms of the report generation and dispatch.
Correct.
Fantastic. So we understand that the diamond package has been requested by the customers and that is what we are providing, and that is the most opted package that we have.
Yes, you are right.
Mr. Suresh, we've had a lot of cases where you've dealt and spoken to customers and the builders. Could you take us through a couple of case studies where we can showcase, without identifying the customer name or the project name or the builder name, why it is imperative that a home buyer or a home user takes home inspection, and especially from Nemmadi?
To start with, we maintain a very high level of confidentiality because what we have inspected, we can't disclose it to others because all quality related issues. So here I'm going to take a case study without obviously naming the project or the client. This was one of the client from one of the very high-end builder project, and when our engineers talked to them, so he was very skeptical in the beginning. Why does he need an inspection at all when the builder is of such a high repute? So some of the engineers convinced him that yes, there will be value for your inspection. Please go ahead. So in that, what he did was to save the cost and also with a high level of confidence, he opted only for the civil engineering aspects and plumbing aspects. But he omitted the electrical aspects inspection. So we had to give him a discount. We had to cut down the cost. And while doing the inspection, we just offered him, see, since you've already backed out, we don't mind offering this electrical inspection pro bono without any cost, just to showcase our capability. So believe me, when we did the inspection, our engineers were able to spot more than about 30 snags in electrical engineering aspects, and in many of the cases there were no power supply at all in the the electrical point, and our fault was rampant. So the client was so much impressed with our finding. He not only paid the amount that was given as discount, he paid little more than what he had agreed for. That is the level of client satisfaction that we could, rather, customer delight that we could achieve with our inspection.
This is regarding our electrical aspects. Is there any other case study that you'd like to talk about so that our customers can understand?
Yeah, I remember one more case where when we were doing an inspection, that was also again a very high-end apartment with a tier one builder, and there were a lot of hollowness observed in some of the rooms. Naturally, the builder's representative, he contested, saying that it has been done with a very high standard of flooring by a very reputed flooring contractor, so there cannot be any hollowness. And even our engineer took us in line, and then we also observed. We were very confident there is a hollowness and there is something wrong below the tile. And it went to such an extent, the developer's engineer challenged that he will cut open the tile and show us there is no hollowness below. And we did pick up the gauntlet. We offered, okay, please go ahead and cut it open. And believe us, when the tile was cut open, below there was absolutely no mortar with the addition. It was total a sand-like material. Something went wrong, and that was the cause of hollowness. So the builder had to bid a retreat and finally accepted all our points and rectified them as well.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we conclude our educational video?
Yeah, we always been talking about conducting this inspection for the sake of not having any defects when they start living. And there are also use cases where people take our inspection for a purchase decision. So for a normal flat, they will be spending a crore, nearly a crore of rupees. So before they make a purchase decision, many people have taken our inspection. They take our inspection based on the report, the number of snags, and the severity. They take a decision whether to buy that flat or not. So this, they do it across. In one case, if I remember, that lady took an inspection for 3 flats in the same apartment, and whichever had least number of snags, she went ahead and purchased. So this is another use case.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Suresh. Thank you, Ms. Divya. Thank you, Ms. Swati. And thank you, Dipali.